Bodybags, where horror lies.
What is up, y'all? Dubby Dubbles at you again. Week 184 on the Bodybags. Hope y'all enjoyed Found Footage Week. Pretty interesting choices and some cool stuff. A couple I'd never heard of, so definitely suggest checking out everybody's reviews if you haven't already. Random review this week. I have a more recent shot on video flick. This was released by Olive Video under their slasher video line, and then it's Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, directed by Paul Ragsdale. Very interesting plot in this one from the get-go. As I said, shot on video. I think it was $600 budget. Very extremely low budget, and I think they stretched it and made it go as far as freaking possible with this thing. So, but you have your junior college professor, El Maestro, and he's really a good teacher. Seems to be. He's passionate. He teaches a Mexican heritage class. He's very immersed and proud of his culture and his heritage. And he's doing everything he can to get his students to follow along. And they just seem to poke fun and really not give a shit. Sorry guys, I'm getting over. I got a little allergies or something popping up. So sorry if I sound cruddy during this thing. But anyway. And then outside of school, El Maestro is also trying to help some of the townsfolk out and do things to help them out in their best interest, and he's met with just pretty much standoffish people and nobody really giving a shit. So of course he doesn't take too lightly to that, and you know, ends up losing it. Of course the cover shows the mask. Very cool stuff, I think. I do like his mask. It's somewhat basic, but just unique enough to have that kind of Day of the Dead feel, and the kind of the Mexican heritage thrown into the mask. I think it's a cool touch. So yeah, basically taking it out on the townfolk and maybe some of his students who've wronged him. Like I said, of course the Day of the Dead culture influences there, and I just think the whole motive and the cultural tie-in is really interesting and very well done here. It does have a lot of horror comedy moments and some satire, of course, of the slasher genre, tongue-in-cheek, and really you know, has the throwback feel. I think a lot of it is a lot of nods, though. It still has enough straightforward slasher feel for it not to be just considered a horror comedy. I think it's still just a you know, fun, more straightforward slasher flick. So, yeah. Other than the culture tie-ins and that kind of stuff, you know, it offers some unique attempts at kills. I would like to see the gore amplified in those kills, but I think the thoughts were there to make them creative and original enough, not too generic. So that was cool. El Maestro's performance is really good. Like, I don't know, the dude just cracks me up hearing him talk. I can listen to this guy read the phone book and crack me up. Just his pacing to the way he words things, and it's you just have to kind of see his performance to see what I'm talking about, I guess. But yeah, I'd like to see the amplified a little bit more, and maybe just taken a bit more serious. Some of the satire stuff. There's like a nod to kind of all-night horror host, you know, your typical midnight movie host, your especially of the 80s time. You know, doing the intros and showing the fake trailer for another flick. Dance of the Dead, which I would like to see be made into another feature. But yeah, like I didn't really particularly care for that. I think that, you know, it's still a fun little nod, but for me that kind of left totally out and still been a fun little slasher. It's a short watch, so you know, you can definitely sit through this and, you know, you won't feel like you wasted too much time with it. I think it's a little over 70 minutes, so really dug the soundtrack. Has that great 80s feel to it. What you would expect to an 80s throwbacks slasher. I don't know, it just has a little bit of charm to it. It's nothing too over the top, just the right level of. Yeah, I heard good things about Streets of Vengeance as well, his second feature of Paul Ragsdale. I suggest checking that one out as well. I'd give this one a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think it's a good solid slasher. Fun stuff though. You know, nothing really mind-blowing, but still a great executed throwback slasher. Shot on video, but has a really crystal clear picture to it. So I think that's a nice touch as well. But yeah, definitely give this one a watch. Fun little slasher flick. Good stuff. Until next week, y'all. As always, I appreciate y'all watching. Peace.